Hi, I'm Josephine Wright Calendar, the author of the Happy Little Garbage Truck picture book and educational program. And I thought I'd come back to you today to talk a little bit about the workshop yesterday. I was not able to get the flyer up on my YouTube website, and I thought I could use it as a thumbnail, but I couldn't do it. So I thought I'd sort of like as a alternate method, I would come back today and talk a little bit about what happened in that workshop. First of all, it was really nice, and I was very nervous, and I shared with Marnie, and she says, "Well, I'm always nervous when I do workshops," and you can never tell it. She's so professional and engaging and uh, very super knowledgeable. Yeah, she's the director of Inclusion Matters in Los Angeles, and we've worked together in the past. We've known each other for about 15 years, and she's been incredibly instrumental in my journey as a special ed teacher to know more about the background of how students are feeling when they are in an unfamiliar situation, because that's what her position was to try to integrate schools gen ed students with students who are had special needs or on the spectrum. And we had such a wonderful time in doing this. And this is like in the past, and she's still doing it, and I'm doing it in my way virtually. And also, not so virtually, through my educational program, the Happy Little Garbage Truck, which includes teacher's guide and student activity guides. So when you're a teacher, I know in the classroom, there's so many things that you want to fit into your day. How do you fit in social emotional learning? Well, that's why I wrote this. It's 27 plus years of skills and ideas and tools and tips and techniques that are crammed into my teacher's guide, which I have a current copy of the new version, which includes the vocabulary cards for the literacy part of my program. So, I just think it's really beautifully done. I have to thank Frank Espinoza, who is he's my formatter, and he's also my graphic artist. He does a lot of different things. So, we've got this together. It's a package, it's done. And I'm doing my special offer first before I get into content. On the website, the link is below. I'm offering a classroom set with the books at half price, even lower than half price than Amazon. And I have to say that my book kind of had gotten a little bit lower in the lineup of the Amazon Happy Garbage Truck books. So I said, I'm going to sell them myself and offer my YouTube followers this opportunity until, while supplies last. Classroom sets of the book at a really deep discounted price. And I will put in an older version of the teacher's guide and student activity guide for the first, let's say, 10 or 15 people who order those sets. Now, yesterday, we had our workshop, and it was really well attended for the time that we put together. Some people from England attended this workshop too, and it was like 11:30 at night, but they still were there, felt that it was really well put together, and one attendee asked if we could do an hour version. I was like blown away by that. But the one thing that I will talk about today is we've been talking about empathy and dysregulation. And for the first time, I was actually, while I was putting my part together of the workshop, I could see how all of this fit together. I had one person who had responded to the YouTube messaging, said, how does this all fit together? And I said, I'm still trying to sort through this myself, because this was the first time that I saw that a lot of the dysregulation that I saw as a classroom teacher connected back to the lack of emotional vocabulary skills within the child, not just speaking that, but knowing what was happening within themselves, knowing how others were feeling and why they were feeling that way. And the empathy, the lack of empathy, was would cause the student or the child to push away and not want to be in that environment because they didn't have the words or didn't understand what was happening within themselves. And so empathy has to do with how you feel within yourself towards yourself, as well as how you feel about others. And this was a big aha moment for me. So as we were talking, we found out that social emotional learning had a lot of competencies, and I'm just going to name a few before ending our talk today. Identifying and labeling feelings, expressing feelings, assessing the intensity of feelings, managing feelings, delaying gratification, controlling impulses, and reducing stress. So once a child learns social emotional concepts such as expressing how they feel, you are actually working on all of these different categories. So that's all for today, and we'll pick it up a little bit later, probably next week. But I thank you, and I know it's Thanksgiving week, so I hope you have a wonderful Thanksgiving weekend. And if you have time, I'll probably do one on Monday. So thank you so much, and I appreciate your sharing and subscribing, and we'll talk later. Bye bye.